Hello everyone. I am so glad you have joined me today. I love sharing my ideas with you and I hope I inspire you with today's creation. And here it is. I took a sketch from the catalog, created my version, and I did the inside in the envelope. Join me in the studio and I'll show you how. This may be a little rough because it's been probably a month or more before, well no, 2 months since I've done a video, so bear with me on this. Wednesday is usually my day for my one color wonder, but I decided to change it up a little bit this year. I'm going to do 1 week where I do a one color wonder, and I will do the next week I will take a sketch from the catalog and I will recreate the sketch and talk about the different elements and show you how to do it. So that's what I'm doing today. I looked through the Occasions catalog and I found this sketch and I really kind of liked it. So I decided to use it. Now, the sketch has the basic card base. Then it has, I'm going to pull this back over so you can see. I don't know how much you'll be able to see, a little bit. Then it has another layer, which is this one that's embossed. So that's the reason why I put a pattern to it. It then has an oval, and I had an oval, but when I put this element in there, it changed the shape and there was no way I could adjust it. I'm going to be using an oval, but this just goes to show you can use any shape at all. And then there was an element at the top and at the bottom, and I threw in 2 elements to show how they would go. I am not doing the sentiment on mine. You can easily add it if you want. So with that, I decided to, I'm pulling over all my stuff because I had it all sitting here now. Don't want to forget anything. I decided that I would use First Frost for my elements, and I'm going to use this spray, this, and this. In the original one, it has a spray, but I'm going to show you, give you an idea at the end for a masculine card, and it doesn't use a spray. So I'm using the First Frost. For the background in here, I'm going to use the Birch stamp set, and I'm specifically going to be using the center part where there's not a lot of pattern to it. I am also using Whisper White, so I have a scrap of Whisper White and a piece of Whisper White for the inside that's 4 by 5 1/4. For my background piece in here, I'm using Highland Heather, and that's what I'm going to put the Birch stamp on. I have a piece of Gorgeous Grape that's 3 3/4 by 5, and that's going to be this piece here, and I'm going to emboss it. My card base is Gorgeous Grape, and it's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. I have my envelope. For my oval in the center, I'm using the layering ovals, and it's this, not the largest, but the next one down for that. I have my frosted bouquet pieces. There they are. I was going to say, there's some missing. I have the one to cut out the spray, the big rose, and 2 for the smaller one. I don't know if I'm going to use 1 or 2, but I have both of them if I need them. To get my pattern on the background, I'm going to be using this Floral embossing folder, and then I'm going to swipe over it very lightly with white. The picture did that. They embossed it, and then they may have done it on the embossing folder, and then they took and either inked up the embossing folder or did across it. I may try the embossing folder and see how that works. But when you do that, you got to wash your embossing folder immediately. My inks are going to be Highland Heather, Mint Macaron, and then my Whisper White. So the first thing I want to do, and let's see if this works, is, all right, this is the side that's No, you know what? I'm not going to do it that way because I can't get it straight. I'm going to emboss this first, and then I'll do the white on top. Okay, I've got that embossed. I need to pull in, I'll just use the back of this, a paper, because I don't know if I'd get white on this or not. Now when I do this, I'm going to do it at an angle so that I'm just hitting the tops of the embossing, and I'm not pressing at all. I'm just dragging it across. And I'm trying to make sure it's in most places. All right, I'm going to stop with that. Now, I'm going to set this aside, but if you don't want to wait, then you need to hit this with the heat tool. And I'm probably going to do the heat tool also, but just not right now, before you emboss it. All right, now I'm going to take my scrap paper, and I need, not before you emboss it, before you cut it out. And I probably should have cut it out before I did that, because when I run it through the Big Shot, oh well, live and learn. We'll see what happens. I should have cut my center out first. All right. I'm also going to change the orientation of my two flower elements because of the way that this spray turns. There's one small one, a second small one, and then a large one. All right, I'm going to use the dies to cut this out. I've got my pieces cut, and now I need to take and cut the oval out of this, but I'm going to hit it with the heat tool first to dry this ink. I've got this dry. Now it's time to cut this out. And I'm going to cross my fingers that I don't crush all my embossing. It worked. It did flatten it some, but not as much as I had thought it would flatten it. This piece I'm not using, but you can always save this and use this on another card. All right, now this piece is going to go behind here. Let me pull in for this image. I want to use the Birch stamp, and I'm just going to put it right on here. And because I'm just going to ink up this top part. And I want it really faint. So what I'm going to take and do is wipe some of it off. And then I'm going to use this in the center. And this piece is cut just a little bit smaller than, there we go. And see, I didn't have to get the whole thing because that's the only part that's going to show. And I really like the fact that it's light like that. It just adds a little bit of interest without taking away from it. Now, what I need to do is to use my tear and tape. And I got some new tear and tape. And this is smaller than, if I can find the beginning, there it is, than this piece. So I'm going to put my tear and tape around the edges of this. Because then I don't have to worry about it sticking, you know, if I put it on the back of that, it might overlap a little. And I didn't want that, so I will do it this way. more. I'm doing all 4 sides because I don't want it to fall apart. So make sure I get all 4 sides. Now I have to burnish my ends, and then using my pokey tool, I'm going to pull up the top of this. I appreciate all of you who have stuck around with me. I had so much going on, and then I had a family emergency, and I had to leave quickly. So and then I was gone for 3 weeks, so it's been a while since I've posted, so hopefully you're still here watching. All right, now I'm going to put this down on top of this, like so. Then I'm going to turn it over and push down to make sure it sticks. Now, that goes on my card base. Folder. And then this goes on here, and I'm going to put it flat. I will use dimensionals for that, but I don't want to have to pay too much extra postage. Sometimes you can get away with dimensionals depending on how it is. Most of the time, let's see, I want it this way. Most of the time, if I use a dimensional, I don't have to put extra postage on it. If I use a ribbon or that makes a bow, sometimes. Just depends. All right, now I've got all of this. Now, in the sketch, I'm going to pull this over. In the sketch, they have that spray down here. And I don't know if I'm going to leave it there or put it there. So the big one is there. Now, you know what? I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. So let me get some dimensionals, and that is the one thing I forgot to bring over here. It's at my other table. Okay. Now I can take my dimensionals and put them on here to help hold it in place. I'll put one here and here. All right, now I'm going to, and somewhere in all of my stuff, I have another, where's my other flower? Oh, there it is. As I say, I did 2, thinking I would need 2. Oh, got to be careful when I do that. All right, that one doesn't want to come off. Maybe I didn't have enough grab to it. There we go. And I'm going to put this down here. And this one is going to go up in the top corner. Add one more on here. And let me take off the backs of this. Okay. And that's that element. And then I decided to take the 2 little ones and put it over here on this. So let me cut some background, a couple of these just real quick. I'm just going to use one on each. And I'm going to put one there and one there. And now I think it needs some sparkle. So I'm going to pull in my rhinestones, and I'll put one there, one there, and one there. Now, if you want to put a sentiment on there, you can. I usually don't. So that's what I have. And I did the inside in the envelope. So as you can see, this is how I took that sketch and created this card. Now I promised you at the end I would share with you how you could take this idea, this sketch, and make it masculine. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And if you take the lighthouse and stamp it and put the lighthouse here, and then I would put the compass there, then all you have to do is create your background, and I would do like the new blue, what's it called? Seaside Spray. I would do Seaside Spray as my color, and Sahara Sand in the middle. You could do, the embossing folder could be the waves one. I don't know what it's called, but that's how you take this sketch from the catalog, make your version, and make it masculine also. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you've enjoyed my creation today. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will be back for Facebook Live on Thursday evening. Join us in there. I'm going to show you how to use your strips from DSP to make a great card. Have a great day.